told me they were wizards, but they slit your gizzards too. They plundered our key mysteries, and all their foes did wail. Beware lest ye encounter a mighty Mage of Sail.
Bonjour, it is I, Patrick McNamara of Dogfood Studios, your best friend, and the only person who truly understands you. We're gathered here today to play Mage of Sail, a swashbuckling game of magic and mystery. I am joined of my friends, which is good because I looked at my notes and I don't have enough stuff. First, Holly Conrad as Aura Edmonstone. Second, Lydia Piper as Liga Visvaldis. The Visvaldis part was the bit I was not remembering, not the Lydia part. And last but not least, lovely Dabe Allen as Wilhelm VIII. So, when we were last united as wizards and friends, co-captain Apex had just won the King of the Golden Isle competition and gone off to celebrate, while our brave wizards have ascended to the top of the Flesch Casino to have dinner with the Sinister Dr Flesch, a one-time nemesis of theirs, in rather a good episode. Will this episode be as good as the first time they met, or will I disappoint my players the way I disappointed my father?
Oh my god.
Okay, so you first met the Sinister Dr Flesch, where he was a guest at Paxton Fuppy's mansion, which you were running a heist on.
That's where we met the sisters the first time, right? Yes. And we all floated a bunch of roles,
yes.
I think.
He has what he calls his three lovely daughters, Vulgaria, Pretentia, and Obnoxia. Vulgaria, of course, you were at one point engaged to for about 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, an eternity.
And then Liga, at a certain point, found her way into Dr. Flesch's lab, rigged it to explode with him down there, and hoped him dead. I mean, we all thought he was dead because he died off screen. He later tried to kill you all by framing you as the creators of a giant monster called the Baby Centipede. But you were able to redirect that monster's aggression towards a nearby military base, a British military base specifically, which was then destroyed. You didn't see Dr. Flesch in person on that occasion. This is your first time seeing him since Paxton Fuppy's mansion. As you step out of the lift, you see this banquet as it is laid out before you. All kinds of interesting food, strange and unrecognizable, but that's not that unusual for the Unconquered Isles, of course. Blood Island has a lot of strange monsters, such as pummel bunnies, slails, and other such things. And I'm going to shout out, by the way, a friend of the show, Flotster, did a sketch of every single creature that has ever been mentioned on Mage of Sail, including pummel bunnies and lobster men, who are only mentioned once.
Amazing.
Which you can find in our Discord.
Amazing.
There were ones on there where I was like, I don't know what this is. I can't remember saying this. And then I went, is that pummel bunnies? Did I think that was a funny name for something? So it's not unusual to see unusual food on the Unconquered Isles. And the Sinister Dr. Flesch is flanked by his three lovely daughters, all wearing their fanciest gowns and their full head masks. And he says to you as you walk in, "Ah, wizards, you're here. Please, come now, sit with me, and we can enjoy a meal together as one-time foes, current friends, and perhaps even future allies."
Sup? Long time no see.
Liga, it is good to see you again. I would like to be completely clear and upfront that none of this food is poison. This is not a trap. As far as I'm concerned, you attempted to kill me and failed. I attempted to kill you and also failed. And now we are quite even.
It's weird.
I would just like us to enjoy a meal together where perhaps I can tell you more of my history and the history of my organization with a view to a more peaceful outlook to our relationship. Please. Enjoy the food. These are all creatures of Blood Island.
Oh, that's gross.
We have managed to roast some flutterclumps.
Oh.
A terrible pest, I'm sure you know. A pummel bunny haunch. I wonder if you've been able to have that for a while. And Well, I don't concern myself with all of the delicacies, but I assure you they are all extremely tasty.
We're vegetarian. It's a vegetarian ship of vegetarians.
Oh, how unusual.
Will your daughters be eating?
Well, unfortunately, my daughters find it rather hard to eat with their masks on.
Well, then why don't they take them off then?
Pretentious said, yes, I mean, we could always take them off. It's a silence.
I'm sure they're hungry. They've been working really hard.
Yes, I heard, Pretensia, that you failed rather badly in your performance. And she said, well, Daddy, it wasn't my... And he said, silence.
Wilhelm's stomach growled.
Please.
It's been protein seeking, you know.
A group of servants scurry in and start replacing meat dishes with plant dishes. It seems
okay,
like
I'll
this.
eat those.
Yeah, it wasn't even a big deal. They're still sort of slightly unusual looking plants, of course,
That's
because of
fine.
where you are. But there's a nice salad or two.
Yeah, I don't want to eat any boat cow meat.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable for me. Like, I can't eat unless we all eat.
So you guys want to start digging in?
The daughters.
Oh, I see. He says, well, if you're quite sure, girls, take off your masks, if you please. Pretensia takes off her mask first. Behind it is the beautiful mask or fake visage that she put on during the show. So she looks quite stunning now underneath it.
Oh, weird.
Bulgaria, whose mask Wilhelm has already seen under, takes her mask off. And you see that she is just incredibly lean underneath it and has sort of visible veins popping out. You can see, as she starts to eat her food, you can see the muscles in her jaw move. Finally, Obnoxia takes off her mask, and her brain is protruding to the point where it is almost visible through her eyeballs.
Ew.
And you can see it pulsing
Okay.
along with her heartbeat.
All right, it's gross and weird, but at least they can eat. Thanks.
Yeah.
Liga, thanks.
They all look pretty tense, close to terrified, which isn't the way you saw them previously. Dr. Flesch begins to eat himself, and he makes a point of eating whatever you eat in the hope that you'll be able to see that it's safe, and says, now, knowing that we started as enemies, let me tell you a familiar pattern, which is that I'm not actually really such a bad guy. In fact, I'm kind of cuddly when you think about it. And I'm sure we will go on to be friends, even allies. While I do find your superstitious beliefs in magic rather upsetting, that is not something that I cannot move behind, of course. In fact, some of my own associates who follow science as I do have incurred my displeasure themselves recently. So, beliefs aren't everything.
I have a question for you, Dr. Flesch. You claim to not be such a bad of a guy, but you do include the name Sinister in your branding.
Ah, yes.
I want to know where that comes from.
Well, as a young child, of course, I was left-handed, or sinister in the parlance of the time. And while there were many attempts to beat me into using my right hand, I always refused and accepted who I was. So now I wear it as a proud band of honor. The Sinister Dr. Flesch. Left-handed, but no worse for it.
What an oddly endearing story.
I'm just a fuzzy little guy, Liga.
Wilhelm actually appreciated that for the character that it displayed.
And I have a question for you in return, Wilhelm. Which of my daughters do you intend to marry?
Oh my god.
I don't know if I'm marriage material.
I'm just joking with you, Wilhelm.
That's great news.
Did
I
if
love
they-
your jokes.
I have not yet decided if they are worthy to be bred, but I did understand that you had a small fling with my daughter Valgaria, beautiful as she is.
3 minute and 45 second fling.
Indeed, and we'll talk no more of the infidelity of that
Oh my
matter.
god. Can I see it? Does he have a spirit? Well, does he?
As a human, he has a spirit, but it's inside.
Right.
You could look to see what any local spirits are around.
Yeah. I just want to like spirit sense this area.
Sure,
Like around him.
It's a weird room.
So
Yeah.
go. That's a very, very quick spell. So you can go ahead and spin the wizard's wheel.
I'm like, please stop antagonizing Wilhelm. 5.
5. That is a success. So while you are speaking this quick incantation under your breath to see the spirit world, Bucky walks into the room and says, "I'm terribly sorry, everyone. I super needed to take a whiz. So let me just go on. Don't let me interrupt the conversation. I'm just gonna sit down right here." And he goes and he sits down right next to the flesh triplets. So the way I have this arranged in my mind is that there's the 3 of you, and then opposite is the flesh triplets, and then Bucky is sitting right next to them. Okay. Noticeably, he is sitting right next to Valgaria, who is the greater physical threat, as far as you know. When you sparred with her briefly in the past, she was a very, very effective combatant.
And where is Dr. Flesch?
He's sitting at the head of the table.
Okay.
So as you look into the spirit world around you, you can see that it's very dead. Because this is a place where the Sinister Dr Flesch has tried so hard to sort of impose order and stasis
Right.
onto the place.
Right.
There are thankfully no, wailing wraiths or anything like that. There are machine spirits bustling around. You can see the spirits of the electricity in the walls because this place is pretty well rigged up. But not much in the way of sort of animism.
Okay.
This isn't a table you could have a decent
And
conversation with.
he's not being followed by anything.
You can't see anything that is following him. No.
Okay. There's no like sorrow following his daughters or anything that like would have twisted them into these creatures.
You can't see anything of a spiritual malady about them. You might be able to figure things out with there might be some different senses you could use.
Okay.
But certainly they're not haunted or possessed or anything like that. So, Liga, my previous assassin, I had to admit begrudgingly that your work in destroying my Blood Island laboratory was really very excellently done. Even in the moments before the explosion happened, I congratulated you in my mind. How have you been finding the Golden Isle? I was terribly sorry to hear of the death of your husband, Edgar.
Oh, thank you. It's been very hard.
Yes, I can sense your despair from now, but please, in my experience, these losses, the emotional torment they provide is temporary.
Is that how you feel about losses?
Indeed. I mean, I have lost so many daughters, but once you move on to a new set, the pain moves with them.
You said set.
Oh yes, always 3, so they keep each other entertained, teach each other tricks.
What number set are you currently on?
Oh, I don't like to talk of such things, and I would have to check my notes either way, but these 3 are quite promising, at least for now, isn't that right, girls? And Valgaria says, "Yes. Yes, Daddy."
Oh, so they have older sisters that have married into other families.
Something like that, yes.
Oh, so you have no sons-in-laws?
Not that I'm in direct contact with, no. But I prefer to adopt daughters. I find the more submissive nature of the female of the species suits me more temperamentally. So I have never adopted a son. Perhaps someday.
Adopt? So where do you adopt from?
From the Flesh Orphanage, of course.
Oh, see, I knew it. Yeah, that's what I was trying to...
I really believe that a man of such significant means as me must do his best to give back to the community, and That's why I opened the Flesh Orphanage.
Yeah, well, why don't you just give money back to the community instead of taking people from the orphanage? It sounds pretty sinister to me.
I see a very amusing play on words there, Order Edmonstone.
Yes, I'm good at words.
I'm actually really fascinated to know what kind of experiments you've done on your daughters.
Girls, would you mind me speaking of it? And they all three at once say,
No, Daddy.
We've allowed them to enhance themselves with the flesh mutagens. Valgaria, of course, has had her strength and physical prowess raised to superhuman levels, is what some might call it, but I would say it is simply changing the expectations of what a human can do. Obnoxia is, of course, has an intellect almost to rival a man's.
I it's like start laughing.
She creates the most incredible theses and books and absorbs knowledge like a sponge, you understand. And then Pretensia herself is able to alter her form as she chooses. Very useful trick, although it can be distasteful when seen in its rested state. They prefer to wear the masks, and I prefer so too. The look of power can be disconcerting to the common folk.
Yeah, when he says like almost like a man's, or just like, I feel like there's just a moment of just like such like supernatural rage that just like breaks whatever glass is there.
Just
like,
shouts in her hand.
like,
Bucky interrupts and he says, well, you know there, Dr. Flesch, I'm going to have to pick you up on a point of order there. We have two very intelligent women here, as well as your daughters, who seem to be very capable themselves. And my experience on having traveled the unconquered isles is that I really feel like any woman can be a match for any man. Physical differences aside, of course. As a man of science, I would have thought you'd take more of an evidence-based approach.
okay, Bucky.
The unconquered isles, you called them, Mr. Muffler. I remember when you were rather more keen to call them the Victoria Isles, their correct name. But why quibble over matters of politics at this point? I hope you are enjoying your role as the deputy mayor of Mermaid Bay.
Or his hand's like bleeding. And
Yeah.
Well,
I have a question. Telepathy,
Yes.
is that what are the constraints of how telepathy works?
So telepathy, you could certainly quite easily communicate with anyone who consents to be communicated with, such as your compatriots, and you can then think freely back and forth, and you can easily control what you are sharing. You can also use that to read what is at the front of someone's mind, like what they are directly thinking of at the time.
I feel the need that I should reach out to, is it Bulgaria, the daughter that I am the most connected to?
Yes.
Telepathically.
Okay.
And I would like to ask some quick, simple questions,
Okay.
if that's possible.
I'm just making eyes being like, murder?
An attendant has brought you a bandage and has taken your broken glass away and replaced it with a new one.
Are we trying to get here?
An 8 or below. Yeesh, that's a 10.
All right.
We're not rolling good, you guys.
So, unfortunately, you reach out with your mind, and Valgaria looks up at you as though she is aware that there has been an intrusion. And Dr. Flesch also looks at you for a moment and looks back at her, and then he continues his discussion with Bucky Muffler. And at that point, you feel Valgaria let you in. Any resistance that she had to it, she voluntarily gets rid of.
Okay. I think quickly, my two thoughts are you in danger? Are we in danger?
And she thinks back to you.
I am not in danger as long as I do not disappoint Daddy, and he has no intention of killing you tonight.
You do want to leave the link open?
Yes.
Okay. Bucky is still going back and forth, kind of passive-aggressively. The Sinister Dr Flesch is realizing how effectively people with Canadian accents are able to be passive-aggressive while giving the impression of being ceaselessly polite. Bucky is talking at length about how rewarding he finds his job as deputy mayor and of Hammerhead Bay, which he repeatedly refers to it as, and how well he is getting on with Apex Liga friend, the mayor of Hammerhead Bay. And Dr. Flesch says, yes, the winner of our competition. It was quite a show, I understand. A talented individual, that Apex Liga friend. Any relation to you in that name, Liga?
We're not related.
Oh, well, must be a coincidence then.
No relation whatsoever.
And how about you, Aura Edmonstone? How are you finding the Golden Isle? With the distance, I'm sure you very rarely get the chance to talk to your family back in London since you left the Victoria Academy for the Privileged Elite.
I don't have a family, but thank you. It's very nice of you to mention them. They don't exist. They're gone.
Oh, that's not true at all, Aura. I receive regular messages back from London. Your mother and father are both quite alive.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Oh. Strange that you should say that. My understanding was that your relationship was quite good before you left London so suddenly for the Victoria Isle.
If anything, they should, that I'm dead. I'm dead.
Well, they may well believe that.
Excellent. That's excellent.
They certainly have not given up hope of finding you. My understanding is that there are detectives all over the British Isles and throughout Europe trying to find any sense of the beloved daughter of the Edmonstone family. I will keep your secrets, of course, or I have no intention to be a snitch.
Well, don't worry, I'm just a woman, so what would I know?
What was it that caused you to travel to the Victoria Isles, or you were such a promising young scholar in your superstitious field?
Well, some of us make mistakes, and we make mistakes we can't fix.
I understand,
And we make very dangerous mistakes that many people would be in danger to question.
I understand, Aura. I live in fear of the day when I make a mistake myself.
Oh, this mistake is already made, and I suggest that you treat us with respect, considering this mistake is currently here with us.
You hear the music in your head and it says,
Aura, I should not like this, Dr. Flesch.
Yes, I don't like him either.
Me. I feel that he would be too curious. Please, speak carefully around him. I believe that danger is all around this individual. And remember, if you need my help to protect you, merely say the words, I release you.
She just looks in pain and just looks back at him like, I just wouldn't try my patience.
Well, I apologize, Aura. You've had a very long day, and I'm sure your patience is running out, and perhaps my reserves of charm are as well.
Well, about your daughters, if you decide you are ready to move on to the next set, I'd be happy to take your daughters and give them a home.
Oh,
Where? The ship? What are you talking about? I'm like...
Did you say that out loud?
I'm like, where?
I mean, just the fleshy bits. That part's in.
Oh,
They're
God.
obviously, like they're not in a safe place.
No, I mean, I agree. I'm like, I'm on the same page.
And
So
since he doesn't
we have a
value
bilge.
women.
Vulgaria puts her glass down because you realize that it was becoming more obvious that her hands were shaking when you start to say that. Pretensia immediately says,
There's no need. We're quite happy here with Daddy. Besides, we all get seasick, so the life of a pirate captain would not be suitable for us, but
Thank you so much, Liga, for that kind offer.
Well, it's always on the table.
Yeah, well, we'll be out of port soon. I think we could make space if you like it a good adventure. It'd be good for your CV, as they say.
And because women are so weak, it's important for us to stay together.
That's true. Our ship has many weak women on it, including all of us. So weak. Oh, my stars.
So many strong men to lead them.
Correct.
To make sure they don't make any errors.
Womanly errors.
I'm afraid I have taught my daughters to try and be independently minded and not depend on collectivism of any kind. I'm sure you've heard the rather vulgar philosophies coming out of Russia at present. But thank you for your offer, and I will consider it in the future. No, my daughters are serving quite well at the moment, and no need for a gap year at present. But certainly, if I were to assign them to any pirate ship, it would certainly be the Nexus Spear.
Okay, just putting it out there because it'd be a waste to just let them decay
Actively.
Emotionally.
I was able to stroll by your ship the other day, in disguise, of course. I'm rather a well-known figure. I don't get to perambulate as much as I would like. I noticed the carving at the front of it. Firstly, the boat cow with the tremendously sized bosom.
Correct. The big naturals.
And secondly,
Second largest trunk.
that it had been carved. The front of the ship was carved into the shape of a hammerhead shark. I suspect that our good friend, Mr. Liga had something to do with that, but...
Oh, he's actually he's our friend.
Yeah, like we're
not necessarily a Liga friend. It's a mutual friendship.
And this was carved by your bosun, Lorelei Harbour.
And he says, "You must tell me the artisan who did it and let them know that he has a job in my employ any time that he would like." Really masterful work, I found.
Oh, there was a woman.
I doubt it.
Well, that's odd. Maybe take that up with Reddit. I've heard of it before, but I think
I'm not familiar.
you'll learn. What do you want from us? Why are we here?
Well,
We won, but why are you? You know all of us. You're clearly antagonizing us. I mean, we're here as guests, as winners.
He takes a moment to pause and said, "Well, I apologize if I've come across as antagonistic."
Antagonistic in the sense that you know everything about us. It's weird, unsettling, upsetting.
I must apologize.
You're messaging my parents. I don't even talk to my
I have
parents.
never communicated with your parents at all. I like to keep tabs on people that I consider future allies, and there is indeed something that I would prefer to have. Fuck me.
I'm writing it in, and
You gotta...
Dr. Flesch almost pauses for a second to listen to it.
And say, "No, not native to this island. Strange."
To whippoorwill.
You're not educated enough to know that.
He seems to lose his place a little bit, and he says,
But I brought you here to talk about...
Well, we won.
You won. Funnily enough, you did indeed win.
We did.
I intended to rig the game slightly, but there was no need.
We might have done that for you.
Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I learned my studies of biology. I was quite a brilliant, but some might say a genius student, and they would be correct. I received my doctorate at 14 years old.
Oh, you lost your childhood. That's sad.
No, I was never a child, not really. As my scientific advancements grew outside of those of my peers, and they found themselves unable to replicate my experiments, I found myself ostracized by the weaker amongst me. A few of my
colleagues I found had similar scientific abilities to mine. The heinous Dr. Brain, the colossal Dr. Skeleton, and of course, the mighty Dr. Karate.
Oh, we met him, right?
Yes. I understand that you did. He
Dr. Skeleton, that's spooky.
he is on...
Colossal.
No.
That's what I hear.
Dr. Karate is back on his home of Karate Island, I believe. He did pay me a visit sometime last year. But masters, all of them in the areas of neuroscience, applied physics, and sports science.
Well, we
He takes
don't
a big drink of his wine.
We don't do any of that. We're wizards.
We formed a little group, the Learned Order of Scientific Thinking, or the Lost.
Oh, okay, that's pretty
It's
emo.
pretty good, though. I do like it.
Depressing.
I was quite proud of it myself.
I bet you were.
Like it can be either. Was that Patrick or was
It is
that
Patrick McNamara.
For a time we were great colleagues, and when the opportunity to help with the colonization of the Victoria Isles came up, well, of course, we were glad to help lead the charge. A place so riddled with strangeness and superstition, it seemed like it needed our ilk to bring order to it. And I believe that we've succeeded quite well. But there are some things recently that have troubled me. Myself and Dr. Brains are still in contact, of course. He is on his own fortress in Brains Island, experimenting on his most fantastic invention, the Brainus. Yes, I understand the locals who used to name it Vibes Island
Okay.
have been quite upset with him since the deployment of his fantastic Brainus.
Can you spell it?
In fact, they call the year that it was invented the heinous Dr. Brains, heinous Brainus Annus.
All right.
But I believe he uses it to, and this is all Patrick. It's Patrick all the way down. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
My God.
I believe he is experimenting in mind control of the weak-willed, and he's had some degree of success in our more antagonistic times. He was able to capture a fellow pirate of yours, Nigel Dredd, insert into his mind different commands to
We dealt with that.
bring a civil war against Hendrix and sell Bones Island to us.
Well, we stopped that.
Yes, I understand. The secondary command was to sabotage your ship.
Well, we stopped that too.
Yes, very good, very impressive.
Yes, thank you.
I think Dr. Brain was perhaps less impressed and more frustrated, but that was when I started to see your potential as allies, when you dealt with the baby centipede so peacefully and yet so violently. My admiration grew.
But we have no intention to ally.
The colossal Dr. Skeleton, of course, on the Isle of Terror. I do not.
What the hell? Where the Isle of Terror?
I do not interfere with him at all. We've not been in touch for a while, but I believe our relations are still friendly.
Wilhelm's very compelled by this.
The Isle of
gigantic
Terror?
Isle of Terror in Dr. Skeleton.
Okay, it sounds sick as hell. Yeah, it does.
sound really cool.
You actually see your guardian, who is called Terror, appears briefly at the other head of the table, and he likes to appear in the form of things that scare you.
Great.
And he has appeared in the form of Dr. Flesch,
Oh, okay.
where he takes a drink of his imaginary wine and then dissipates again.
Oh, man.
Dr. Flesch, as a woman, I really appreciate these compliments coming from you, a man.
Well, I mean, thank you. I suspected they would mean more.
She knows how to play the game. I don't.
The ability to,
I don't know how to play the game. I just get mad.
the ability to utilize your more gentle nature in such ways, I think, has been a real asset to you, Liga.
Oh, thank you.
And I must apologize for some of my colleagues in the learned order of scientific thinking back in Latvia. I understand the treatment of your village was quite brutal, and I want you to know that I've been trying to find the scientists responsible. It's been something of a personal project of mine, and I will be certain to let you know of their identities and location when I determine them.
I appreciate that, but I think I really appreciate that. Why don't you just close the whole organization to begin with?
Well, we turn to the subject of the mighty Dr. Karate, how do I put this? Buffoon. Fraud. Yes, and also an excellent choice of words, Wilhelm. A fraud. Barely a scientist at all, a master of sports science. But his incredible knowledge of PE did lead him to
PE.
a high-up station in the British government as Prince Albert's personal trainer, and thus
Those
to
are
the
just
Victoria Isle.
personal trainers are just hot therapists.
I rarely heard the man described as hot.
Where does the P come in?
The ball.
Physical education, Liga. No doubt they call it something else in your brutal mother tongue. But physical education.
Brutal. I'll have you know, Latvian is very complicated language.
But the mighty Dr. Karate, I was able to maintain a fraught alliance, but recently his works on Karate Island have been too much to bear. You understand, Wilhelm, that he took it very, very personally when he discovered that you were on these islands, and perhaps a greater master of the martial arts than even him.
Because he's a fraud.
Yeah.
He investigated you and discovered the identity of an enemy of yours, Kirill, the Wizard Eater. Much to my chagrin and against my wishes, he was able to smuggle a pack of Kirill's werewolves aboard one of our airships and bring them to the Victoria Isles. The men on board were, of course, slaughtered by these brutal creatures.
And when he starts talking about werewolves, Bucky starts to really perk up and is paying a lot of attention and is also checking the exits. Other were creatures do not like werewolves. Werewolves are not typically able to get to the Isles because they can't pass through the Traitor's Sea.
Yeah, how did they get through?
I would say that Wilhelm would probably, at this point, uncontrollably have a flare-up
Yeah.
of worry and panic.
Okay, how is it manifesting?
It is purely just like a flashback kind of scenario,
Yeah.
while connected telepathically with Bulgaria.
Yes.
So Bulgaria is aware. Is there any response?
You're sitting fairly close, and you lean out and you start gripping the table. And when she is certain that her father can't see, she puts a gloved hand on yours and squeezes softly and then lets go. She's very quick and very lithe and able to make this small motion without anyone else noticing. And as Dr. Flesch continues, he says, "You must understand that I would never allow such creatures to pillage the Victoria Isle. But nonetheless, arrive they did, bypassing the strange effects of the Victoria Sea. But, as you mentioned, Aura, how they did it, I've already said too much, perhaps.
Well, perhaps they didn't want to conquer. They wanted to claim, or to kill.
Kirill, the Wizard Eater, is indeed upon the Golden Isle as we speak, although I believe he intends to return to Karate Island on this very night.
I have, of course, been keeping tabs on him and attempting to do my best to limit any damage that his wolves might do to this isle. But, well, I believe we finished eating. Perhaps for Brandy and Cigars, I can take you through to my home theater for more information.
We're not friends.
Are we allowed in with Brandy and Cigars?
Oh, well, I mean, of course. Just this once, in the spirit of friendship.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for making this.
Wilhelm stands up first.
Bucky also stands up and makes a point to, he starts moving into such a way that he has interposed himself between the three of you and Dr. Flesch. Why, golly, that sounds really nice, Mr. Flesch. And Dr. Flesch, I apologize. What a terrible rudeness of me to forget your many achievements in the fields of academia.
I'm like, what?
And he begins to walk, if you follow him.
I mean, well, we are gonna, right? We're gonna follow him.
we're following.
Yeah, we're
You
following.
walk up to a higher level, into a great room. It has a huge mirror across one wall. And then around it, almost as like the lights we have here, there are screens that they look like mirrors themselves, but what we in the modern world would call screens, and you would simply look at as mirrors. And he says, as you can see, my viewing room is, well, I think quite a marvel of science, and I have been able to track this Kirill quite well.
What are you seeing through?
Well, let me show you. And he pauses for a moment and he flicks a switch on a device. And you see...
It's not scrying, it's something else.
One of the things about this form of science that he follows is that Dr. Flesch is kidding himself. He's a wizard.
Yeah.
And his powers work exactly the same way that you do, and he is scrying right now.
That's what I thought.
Bucky pipes up and goes, you know what strikes me, Dr. Flesch, that perhaps the reason your experiments could never be replicated, not very useful in science, by the way, non-replicable results, but perhaps it's because they're not science at all. This seems very much like something a wizard would do. And Dr. Flesch bristles slightly and says, please turn your eyes to the largest of the screens, where I keep an eye on the docks by the Nexus Spear.
I mean, that's ours, so you don't have to do that, but that's also fine.
I know that I don't know this, but like a piece of me is like, but that's actually very like an experiment has to be replicated in order for it to be part
science.
of be part of the scientific method.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a good scientist. And you see the Nexus Spear with its beautiful hammerhead carving. And you see in front of it, standing his evening wear, Apex, who has now returned back to his normal form and is looking up at it, smoking a cigar himself and smiling proudly. And he begins to walk down the docks, and you see this view of this camera following him. Dr. Flesch says, I would hate to ruin the surprise of how this effect works. And as Apex stands looking out at the sea that he has now left behind in favor of the land, the camera moves to be standing next to him. And Dr. Flesch says, you recall that I have been monitoring specifically Kirill, the Wizard Eater. And this camera is looking down on Apex. It's clearly from a great height. And he says, I recognize you. Apex, Liga friend. No, the king of the Golden Isle? And Apex says, yes,
Apex.
newly crowned. Yes, were you able to watch the show? And Kirill says, I was not, I'm afraid, but word travels very fast. Most impressive performance. I have followed your career with some interest. I understand that you were a great warrior in your day. And Apex likes to be puffed up a little bit. He goes, yes, I was, yes. Still am. I like to fancy, but now more of a politician, you understand?
I feel like Liga is just immediately like, I gotta go, and just books it.
You want to book it out? Bucky, for his point of view, as soon as he hears the accent, runs to the biggest mirror And as a were creature, he is able to move through mirrors.
What?
And that's how Apex got on board your ship, if you recall.
Oh, yeah,
And he
that's
passes
right.
through the mirror. He doesn't say a word, but as he's moving, he is starting to change and get bigger. And he disappears into the mirror. And Kirill says to Apex, "We have mutual acquaintances. I believe a Wilhelm the Eighth." And Apex says, "Yes, Wilhelm. Very good lad. Very good. Strong fighter himself." And Kirill says, "Yes, yes. I knew Wilhelm the Seventh, you understand. It was me that was there at the massacre of Wilhelm's learned order, at the head of the werewolves." And then you see Apex turn around, and you see from the local alleys around the docks, more wolves appear. And Apex looks up at Kirill and says, "When you see me in the spirit world, Kirill, you must tell me how it felt." And Kirill says, "To die?" He says, "No, tell me how it felt when Liga turned your blood to silver. And now, let's see how good you are." And he begins to change, and you see the wolves attack.
Oh, no.
And that is when the screens turn off.
I'm like, Liga can't emotionally handle this.
Yeah, you are currently about 10 minutes of a run from the docks. What would you like to do? You're just going to continue running there, I'm guessing. You are flying
Does he
down
let us go?
Yeah, like, in my mind, like, even though Liga likes to pretend to be like, all right, whatever, like,
Yeah.
she deeply cares about him.
Dr. Flesch says, "You understand I have no part in this brutality, wizards. I do not support it, and I would indeed support you in taking the fight to the mighty Dr. Karate for what he is doing at present."
Did he bring...
He brought Kirill here, indeed, in attempt to bring Wilhelm low. I understand that he wishes to face you in his great karate tournament on Karate Island. This is an attempt to motivate you into doing that. I apologize for whatever becomes of your friend.
Before we leave, I want to grab him and curse him.
Okay, what do you want to curse him?
Let's say, "You will never have another daughter."
So the curse goes off, and you see this spirit immediately at your command throws itself at him. And while it's not bound to him, it will follow.
Good.
And it turns to you and says, "We will discuss your oath later, Aura Edmonstone."
All right.
The Dr. Flesch gently brushes you away and says, "I do not believe in superstitions, but I want to let you
fool.
know that I am sorry for what has happened to your friend. You are, of course, free to go. If you would rather stay here for Brandy and Cigars, you may."
No, I just push him over and leave.
You run and leave as fast as you can. No one attempts to stop you. Wilhelm, do you leave as well?
I do, but I look at Vulgaria right before I leave the last door that would close effectively that
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
She looks back at you with an impassive expression. Liga, you get to the docks first. There is one path into the docks. Bucky is blocking it. As you run to get past him, he puts an arm out and says, "Nope."
I would like to dodge him.
He's trying to say, "Liga, you don't want to go down there." And but you're able to squirm from his grasp and be the first of your friends to see the body of Apex Liga friend lying mauled by your ship. And we will burden our souls with those secrets next time on Mage of Sail. Thank you very much for watching.
Where'd you do this, Patrick?
If you enjoyed this, show,
I didn't.
please consider pledging to us on Patreon at patreon.com/Patrick McNamara, where you can also access the rules to this game, information on all of the spells, and other great things. Thank you especially to the member of our Fun Guzzler tier, Whitefire, to Flotster for the lovely Mage of Sail picture that she donated to our set, and to Tyrannosaurus for his continuing support of the show. Other supporters of the show will be in the credits. Probably no song for this one. I hope you enjoyed it to some degree, and we will see you in 1 week's time for the next episode of this show.
Oh, you found it.
I must confess that was an omen.
Was it?
Yeah.
So he was doing it on purpose.
I was doing it on purpose.
What the fuck was this one?
I'm sad that Apex is dead.
Have a great time. I'm off to get yelled at by my friends, and we will see.
Fucked up, Patrick.
We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Whatever.
I met some mighty pirates sailing on the sea of blue. They told me they were wizards, but they slit your gizzards too. They plundered arcane mysteries, and all their foes did wail. Beware lest ye encounter a mighty Mage of Sail.